I've actually made 3 videos, which you can either continue to watch this because I've run them all together, or if you'd rather skip ahead and just watch the ones that are relevant for you, I've got them all hosted on the school's website, which might be a good way to sort of dip in and dip out. So what I'll do is I'll try to show you exactly now where those videos are, just to make life a bit simpler for you. If you go to Google and do a Google for our school's website and click on Lethbridge Park Public School, you'll see over here on the right-hand side of our screen the top 3 videos. One talks all about badge assembly and the PBL excursion that's going to happen on the last Tuesday of school. The next video talks about preschool graduation for 2020, which is next week. One talks about presentation day planning, which we have scheduled for the end of next week. So either keep on watching and enjoy the show to find out all about the end of the year, or you can press end now, go to our school's website and click on those videos that do in fact appeal to you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's the last week of November, and as you might appreciate, we're frantically trying to plan for presentation day. And in a regular year, it'd be really easy. We'd do all the school-based planning, we'd organise who's going to get the medals, get them all engraved, then we'd have an open invitation and we'd get out of the hall, we'd cram as many kids and mums and dads and families we can in there, turn the air conditioning on as cold as it will go, and then we would celebrate as a community the achievements of our students. We would say thank you to our outgoing student leadership team, and we would congratulate the incoming student leadership team for the following year. But obviously with COVID restrictions, that approach to presentation day isn't appropriate. So what we have done is we've had a really good read over the guidelines and have a good think about the context at Lethbridge Park School to work out what we can do. We're going to move presentation day away from the hall up under the Cola, a bit like we have for Anzac Day. We're not able to invite all of our community because, as you would imagine, with over 1,000 parents, it would just be unmanageable within the school context. So we had to think about a way that we could have some representation of the community, but in a way that was COVID safe, compliant with the guidelines, and also practical for us as a school. And the solution that we've come up with is to invite one family member from the family of each of the award winners. So in other words, if you're getting the citizenship award in year 1, you might have just mum there, or just dad, or maybe just nan or just an uncle, but you couldn't have the whole family there. We will send those family members a personal invitation, and we will ask for the details of who will be attending so that we can do our COVID planning around that. On the day, all of the students will sit on the floor, the teachers will be spaced out around them, really very similar to an Anzac Day approach, and there'll be another ring of chairs around the back for those invited parents. So they're the parents who are invited because their child is receiving an award at presentation day. And I realise that sort of takes away a bit of the surprise for some of the students, but I guess that's inherent in the plan. The parents would arrive, they would be required to sign in, and they would be required to complete a COVID declaration to say that they haven't been in a hotspot, they are not experiencing COVID or flu type symptoms, etc. And we would really keep those parents away from the teaching staff and away from the students, and we'll lead them in and we'll share that day together. As we spoke about in earlier videos, as we were trying to work through our ideas, we'll make sure that there is a photographic record of all of the award winners that can be distributed later on in the day or perhaps the next day, so that all the community can celebrate together if perhaps you're not able to attend, or if there are too many family members and only one can possibly arrive. The big question we have is around what happens if it's very, very rainy or it's very, very hot indeed. And it is possible at that time of year that we could have a day that was well over 40 degrees out here at Lethbridge Park. And our planning around that would be the students would return to the classroom and we would use online facilities, as we have been for most of the year, to conduct our presentation day in that format. So the parents that have been invited in that case would really be here, but there would be no kids around to watch. So we would take a third of that group to the library where we have a screen that the parents could be socially distanced and they could watch that screen, and we'll take 2/3 to our hall so they could watch on the screen down there. The reason for those distributions is we have to be very careful about how many people we have in each space, and obviously we have calculations on how many square meters each of our spaces are here at school. So that is our plan for Presentation Day 2020. We're still putting together some of the fine details, but we do have a few weeks to do that. Today is the day that the teachers are finalising class awards at an internal level. So I would anticipate we would be able to get invitations out to parents really within the next week or so, which will give you about a week and a half's notice prior to the presentation day. And in that letter that goes out, in that invitation, we'll have all of those procedures set out. It is really, really important that all those procedures are followed very carefully indeed. And basically what that will mean is that the parents will come in through the normal Copeland Road exit. We will have them come in at about 9:10, so not earlier. I will include the paperwork that needs to be filled in, which can be brought along. Everybody will be spaced out, and then we will have one of our staff will lead you to the appropriate spot after the staff and the children are seated. So it may in fact be that you have a child who is in year 6, but by the very nature of the arrangement, you end up sitting beside year 1, and we can't quite work through how to solve that one. It will just have to be as it is. But what we are confident is that we can do this in a COVID-safe way, and we also feel that having some of our community there to represent the wider community is much better than having nobody there at all. So look out for those bits of paper when they go home, and obviously there'll be an indication that your child has in fact won an award. And of course, we're hoping that come 2021 that we can have a much more traditional presentation day. Good afternoon, everybody. Next week we're holding our Term 4 Badge Assembly, and normally this is the one that we have the most parents attend. It's where a number of bronze and silver badges are awarded, a number of gold badges are awarded, but also it's where our platinum badges will be awarded. So it sort of culminates the PBL journey for Lethbridge Park School at the end of each year. Following the badge assembly, we organise an excursion for those students who've received gold badges in Term 4 or in fact at any stage throughout the year, as well as the Platinum Award winners. Flip Out's been our location of choice. Last year we had to change that location due to smoke in the air, you'll recall, as a result of the bushfires. And this year we've had to make differing arrangements due to COVID restrictions. So what we're going to be doing is organising a cinema trip, much like last year. We will fund it at a school level, of course, and all students who have either received a gold badge at any stage this year or have received a platinum badge will be invited to attend on the last Tuesday of school. We'll go on a bus down to Mount Druitt. The cinema has their own COVID safety plan. We'll have a bit of popcorn, a bit of water. We've rented the whole cinema out, so it'll just be our students with a different movie being viewed by the kindergarten year 1 and year 2 students compared to those in years 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you'll know that your child will be coming easily because next week they'll bring home either a gold badge or a platinum badge or an invitation. And the invitations of those students that have already received a gold badge earlier on in the year. And we'll also make sure that an information sheet goes home for everybody, and there'll be a tear-off permission part to go down the bottom. But it should be a nice way to finish off the year for us, and we're keen to make sure that even though there's not been a lot of excursions this year, that this one is able to go ahead in a safe and fun way. Good afternoon, everybody. This video is for our preschool parents, and as you might imagine, we're fairly furiously trying to plan our end-of-year events, and with some changing of restrictions and the guidelines that the school operates within, we think we've got a solution for preschool graduation. In a normal year, we invite the parents along to the hall, and we present a certificate. The kids wear a cap and gown, we get a few photos, we go back to the preschool and share a cake, and it's a nice way to finish up the year and to say goodbye to some of those students that might be heading off to other primary schools in 2021. Now, we haven't been really sure how we could manage it at the end of 2020 with COVID restrictions, but we've come up with a plan that we think will capture the important parts of our regular process and make it memorable for both parents, but also for us as a school and for the students. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to hold 2 graduation events. One will be held on the 8th of December at 9:30 in the morning for the red class, and the other will be on the 10th of December at 9:30 in the morning for the blue class. Invitations will be issued, and 2 people from each family will be able to attend, and we'll go to our hall. There'll be specified seating. Obviously, it will be social distance and we'll be required to keep a record of who sits in what seat, but we have sufficient square meterage in our hall to accommodate that within the current guidelines. It does mean for parents it'll be a seated event, but you can all be there. You can see your kids come to the stage, receive their certificate, we can take a photo, and then what we will do is we will take the students back to the preschool, and at that point we'll usher the preschool parents away. And I guess as a group, the preschool parents have become really accustomed to the sign-in procedures. So in many ways, the morning won't work a great deal differently. Jackie's going to be working on a note to go home in the next few days, but you can consider this the advance notice. So on the 8th of December at 9:30 a.m, graduation for the red class, and on the 10th of December at 9:30 a.m, graduation for the blue class. 2 people per family can attend, and only 2, otherwise we will exceed our allocated space entitlement, and it will be a seated event. But I tell you what, it's an awful lot better than having no event at all. So have a look out for the note, and we'll try to get the video out on our Story Park and via our school website. Thanks, everybody. Right, if you're still watching, it means you've watched all 3 videos one after the other, which is a fairly good effort. One way or the other from us, I'd like to say thank you and enjoy your week.